This whole breakfast is all about you three gentlemen right now. You know, to be honest, as your principal, it is an honor and a privilege to stand here before you. As a former sergeant of the United States Marine Corps, I know that the decision to serve our nation goes beyond recognition and title, but it is something deeply rooted in your DNA. It's a calling or a yearning to do something that makes a difference in your life that you are sworn to protect. The decision to serve our country goes beyond celebrations each year. It is recognized on the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and of course, selfishly speaking, November 10th, which is the Marine Corps birthday. But with all seriousness, service does come with a sacrifice. You have taken the steps necessary to put your life on the line for the greater cause, the greater good, and the deepest affection for our great nation. Don't let anyone fool you. There will be times when the sacrifice is greater than you can even imagine. And conversely, there will be times when you're absolutely bored out of your minds. Always remember that being in the service is all about the good, the bad, and even the ugly. I'm going to talk to you from the heart. It's a huge commitment what you gentlemen did. It's a huge commitment to know that you're joining the Armed Forces of the United States of America. If you look around this auditorium, there are veterans and people who respect the veterans and know what the sacrifice is. It's not all fun and games. It's hard. It is boring at times. You're going to sacrifice much. You sacrifice late nights, holidays, weekends. But know this, what you're doing is the most honorable thing you can possibly do for this nation. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As a former Marine myself and veteran, I understand what you're going through. I understand your fears. I understand your trepidations. You may be a little nervous, and that's good. It's healthy. Be nervous. A quick story. When I was going to Paris Island, when I finally joined for the Marine Corps, I get on the bus. I ride to Paris Island. I was scared. I'm going to tell you that. I was nervous. I had no idea what to expect. And the biggest Marine I've ever seen in my life gets on the bus. He must have been 7'10". Giant, muscle-bound Marine. And the page comes on, and he asks us to count off. And he gets on the bus and count off. 1, 2, 3. Well, the second person on the bus was so nervous he forgot how to count. So when the Marine comes on the bus, he says, "All right, gentlemen, you got to count off. 1, 2." He goes through the thing. He goes, "Okay, you, 1." Second Marine, second recruit at that point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's like, "Wait a second. I told you to count off. 1, 2, 3. I need to get a head count. Do it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he goes on. This happened 4 times. 4 times, mind you. Then this biggest giant Marine grabbed this kid by the arm, started shaking him and yelling at him, and the rest of us, I think, we whittled. I'm not gonna lie. So when we get to our receiving barracks, the first thing the drill instructor gets on the bus, he probably shouldn't say their name publicly, so I'm not going to. And he says, "Who the heck is so-and-so?" "I'm right here." "Oh, I'm right here." Pulls him off the bus, and they start laying into this poor kid. And the rest of us on the bus looking and watching like, what the hell did we just do? But all in all, you will survive. You'll have days like that. You have trials, you have tribulations, but in the end, you're going to do something that no one could ever take away from you. Your commitment, your honor, and your sacrifice is greatly appreciated, not only by myself, but by the rest of the nation. So I thank you, gentlemen, for joining the service. I wish you all the best of luck, and you always, always have a home there at Walton High School. Thank you. So I'm going to introduce, we're going to start off, we're going to change the order around just a little bit. I'm going to introduce our Huntington Town Supervisor, Mr. Smith, to the podium, who has a few words, and then unfortunately he has another commitment before he has to leave. So, Mr. Smith.
Well, thank you. The other commitment I have is my annual physical, which you guys better get used to. So, let me just start by telling you that you guys are making a great move, and I mean that tremendously. Which one's joining the Marines? You know they do haircuts, right? Just make sure you read that part of the brochure. The recruiter told you about that, right? So,
just don't get a haircut before you go.
Yeah, don't have a tight before you go.
Just like that.
I got my coffee. You know, Napoleon said that the Army marches on its stomach, but the Marine Corps marches on its coffee machine. So remember that. So let me tell you, so when I joined right out of high school as well. I was 17 years old and went to Paris Island. I joined the reserve, but go through Paris Island training the same. And I will tell you flat out, I got far more out of the Marine Corps than the military than I ever gave to the military. I mean that. It was the greatest experience of my life. I, with rare exceptions, enjoyed every second of basic training. I enjoyed every second of my advanced training, even though it was in Alabama in the summertime, which you want to talk about hot, that's hot. But I enjoyed everything. It's also NBC, gas masks, mop suits, and the works. It's like going out in the snow. But it was still, I loved every minute of it, and I think you will as well. Congratulations on the Naval Academy. That is a tremendous accomplishment. That it's something that it's can't say enough good things about it. And the Navy. We love the Navy, right? They get us around. But as far as serving, I will give a little bit of advice for you. Just wrote some things. Number one, other than signing up to begin with, volunteer for nothing. Ever. If somebody says, I need a volunteer, just follow orders, but don't volunteer. You'll hear that a lot. Avoid people with clipboards. If you want to be left alone, find a clipboard and walk around the yard. Start walking around. And a pen in hand. People will run and scatter. If you see somebody with a clipboard, run. And lastly, when in doubt, just remember this. Beans, bullets, Band-Aids. Beans, bullets, Band-Aids. If you're in a crisis, beans, bullets, Band-Aids. You want to make sure that you have beans, food, supplies in order. Make sure you have that first. Bullets, you want to make sure you're secure. Perimeter security. Band-Aids. Take care of everybody that's hurt. Remember that. Those are your three basics. You'll get through any crisis with that. So, the town of Huntington, just to give you some background, we recognize our veterans at every opportunity, and there's a reason for it, because you guys are stepping up and doing something that very few other people do. And it's something that every Memorial Day, on Veterans Day, every holiday, we recognize it. You'll see down in Huntington Village right now, the Kiwanis Club has now put up banners with the faces of veterans from our town on the utility poles. Again, every opportunity that we get, we honor the veterans. And very simply, it's a worthy thing to do because of what you're doing right now. It takes a tremendous amount of personal fortitude to volunteer to go into the service. And you need to be recognized for that. And the veterans themselves should be always recognized for it, and each of you will be. So I want to congratulate each of you. Do you want to give out proclamations now? Have a lot of nicknames for each other. None of them are flattering, but they're all meant to be. And Daniel Rich. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And I'd like to call to the podium. Mr. Stern, please.
Good morning, everyone. This is always such a great ceremony to bring all of us together to recognize some of the very best in our community. Let me be among the first to say thank you to all of you for your service to our country, to say congratulations to your families. Your service, commitment to our nation will always have every confidence bring pride to your family, to our entire community, and our great nation. So we wish you all the very best. Thank you.
So, supervisors, the 7 men that was just there, today's a very significant day. It's the anniversary of the D-Day invasion. And as we look back on our nation's history right now, we live in a very kind of time that I think we all could say can be very polarizing. Yet in front of us we have 3 terrific young men who are volunteering to go serve our great nation. And we do a lot of these awards towards the end of the year. And I always speak to the young folks the importance about citizenship, character, and serving others. And there's no greater example than what we have in front of us. And certainly some of the boys I actually know, the county does the citizenship award, and some of the boys have participated in that from my office. So I'm really proud of the great work that they've done here at Oakland High School, in addition to embarking on a military service career. So to you and to your families, congratulations. God bless you. God bless your families, and certainly God bless our great nation.
Let's get a big picture on everything.
Oh, you guys have a lot more coming, don't worry. This is a whole presentation. I'd like to recognize our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. April Papillo, in the back, but I didn't see before, so. Ms. Papillo. Just recognize you. We are going to go a little more off script as we've been done all morning. I want to call Mr. and Mrs. Conley up to the podium real quick. Who would like to share a few words, maybe? Completely put them on the spot. However, Oh, and is going into the United States Naval Academy. The only student from Woodman this high school this year who is attending one of the military academies. So it is a special recognition and a special honor. Thanks, Helen. Thanks.
It will be very brief. Kate and I are graduates of Woodman High School as well, and we're extremely proud of this community, everything that you guys have put into it. Very proud of all three of you for joining the military. It's a great recognition. It's a great honor to be in front of you. We wish you nothing but the very best in everything you guys do, especially Owen. So this is present Owen is come on up. This is Owen's appointment to the United States Naval Academy, signed by the Superintendent of the Naval Academy.
Thank you. So I'd call Mr. C. Petrie to the podium. Board of Education President, say a few words.
A little bit longer, maybe I'd like to relate some tales of heroism in the speech. Just so you know, this is the 6th year that we've been doing this, and it's actually something that I started 6 years ago, following my grandfather's passing, because he was in the military, and that service meant so much to him, and it meant so much to me, and I thought it was so important that young students that are joining the military get recognition separate and apart from their graduation ceremony, because this is something that's so important and heroic and patriotic. So thank you all. I want to thank our local veterans for being with us this morning. Today's event falls appropriately on the anniversary of the largest seaborne invasion in the history of the world, in which 2,500 Americans lost their lives. It also comes 1 week after Memorial Day, in which we honor more than 1 million who gave their lives in the military service since the Civil War. On that day, we remember those who fought for democracy and changed the course of world history. And we hear the playing of taps, 24 notes, each describing indescribable emotion. As we struggle through these very challenging times in our country's history, we see good news that's few and far between, and we see images of mass casualty events that give us sadness and outrage. Surprisingly, polarize us more than unite us, so that makes today even more important. It is during these difficult periods that we need to remember our military heroes of the past, and focus on those who love this country, even with all its imperfections, and are willing to sacrifice their lives for its profound ideals. Today I tell you the story of one of those individuals, Medal of Honor recipient Sergeant First Class Leroy J Petrie, who performed an extraordinary act of valor during the Afghanistan conflict. On May 26, 2008, Army Rangers were targeting an insurgent compound in broad daylight. When the helicopters touched down, they immediately came under heavy fire. Sergeant Petrie was hit in both legs. Bleeding badly, he still led the other Rangers to cover. He radioed for support and hurled a grenade at the enemy, saving their lives. Then, an enemy grenade landed just a few feet from the Rangers. Extraordinarily, Sergeant Petrie picked up the live grenade, cocked his arm, threw it back, saving the lives of 2 Rangers. But the force of the blast was so strong that it took off his right hand and riddled his body with shrapnel. But despite the severity of the injuries, Sergeant Petrie remained calm, put on his own tourniquet, and continued directing his team. Even though the national news would make it seem as if valor, patriotism, and a sense of duty that it was embodied by Sergeant Petrie is extinct, we know this is not the case. It still exists, and it still exists in the 3 wonderful young men before us today. These young men, post-graduation plans are deserving of special recognition and appreciation. in passing up other opportunities that are less mentally and physically demanding and less dangerous to serve and protect our great country. That's why we hold this breakfast, this time each year, a small token of our appreciation for your sacrifice and decision to protect our great country. This morning we thank each of you for your bravery, selflessness, and love of country. I want to thank each of you on behalf of the South Huntington School District and the Board of Education. Wish you the best of luck and health, and God bless you in this country. We also have your final sets of gifts today. So you'll be coming here, you'll be going, a lot of gifts going home. So one thing that we started, and I started this, and then Mr. Costa will give you his gifts, is we recognize extraordinary students, and it could be for different reasons throughout the course of the year, with the key to the South Huntington School District. And it's something we started a number of years ago to recognize greatness. And it could be for different reasons. We've given it to wonderful athletes, wonderful scholars, and today we give it to 3 young, brave men. And we will give you, it's considered one of the highest honors we can give you in the school district, so you get our key to the district, which won't open anything, but it's the key to our hearts, and it's a symbol of how special you are to this community and now our country as a whole. So congratulations. And each of you, first Owen. Stay on up here because we'll have some more stuff for you. Owen, by the way, it made history in South Huntington. He is the first ever student ex officio of the Board of Education, which means he sits at our Board of Education meetings, and I think it's pretty obvious that he was a good choice. We're going to next bring up Daniel Rich. And finally, Abner Cruz Lopez. Congratulations.
Yep, well, don't worry, guys. In addition to the key to the district, forever thank yous and gratitude, we also have commemorative coins in each one of you. So Abner. Silver dollar from South Huntington School District. Thank you for the Board of Education and South Huntington School District. Silver dollar is a token to you. Don't spend it, keep it. And then something new this year that we started. It's rather beautiful, but I'll open it. So, just like it. It's for students attending AOR service academies. Now, they have, the military, you're going to find you have something called a challenge coin. The challenge coins are given either from campaigns, battalions, companies, your base, wherever you're located. It symbolizes that you were there. And typically, you exchange a challenge coin with another member of the service or family member, symbolizing respect and deep admiration. And what we're doing here now at South Huntington High School, we actually brought our own challenge coin. We're going to present Mr. O'Connelly for the United States Naval Academy. So, have some more food, and then we'll conclude today's ceremony. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Deleon.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. You know, the one thing I think I would be successful with if I was joining the armed forces, I think I could skip the haircut line. All right, first of all, I want to thank our veterans that are here today. Thank you for your service and for providing the freedoms that we have here today, because this country has more freedoms than any other country in the world, and we will never take that for granted. To Abner, Daniel, Owen, thank you for all your contributions to Walt Whitman High School. Thank you for your commitment to this beautiful nation. Thank you for your selfless decision to serve this great nation. I know that your parents are extremely proud. The South Huntington Learning Community is extremely proud of all of you. And something I researched over the weekend said that less than 30% overall in this country of students that want to join the armed forces actually get in. So this is not a gimme, and we're extremely proud of your accomplishments. And as superintendent of schools, you have my heartiest salute. God bless America. Thank you for all you're going to do for us. Thank you.
I would say the best for last. So I want to call Commander Boyle. I'm going to speak to you from the American Legion Post 1244 right here in Greenlawn. Now, you heard a lot of people talk today. There is life after the military. Standing testament, Mr. Smith, Commander Boyle, members of the American Legion Post. So no matter what your journey is, no matter where you end up, there's an ending point. When you're doing something that no one can ever take away, do the best you possibly can. Kind of agree with Mr. Smith a little bit. Don't always volunteer. Don't shy away. I lead the way. Commander Boyle?
So my name's Dawn Boyle, all right, but I am a retired Command Sergeant Major from the United States Army. So may there be life after the service. There can also be a great life in the service. So especially for the guys going enlisted, you may get, if you re-enlist, you may get terms like, when I went re-enlisted, it was lifer. Those are not necessarily bad terms. And for our future officer, remember to listen to your NCOs. You may be a brand new, but they've got a lot of experience on you by the time that you join up with them. So just remember to at least take into account your NCOs, because they won't steer you wrong. They want you to look good. All right, so it's an honor to be here. Okay, I was going to ask who's joining what, but we've already gone through all that, so I'm going to skip it. I'm a little disappointed that no one is joining the Army, which is America's oldest branch of service. You guys are all Johnny-come-latelys. All right, so thanks for volunteering to serve our country. It's really greatly appreciated. And it's hard to believe while you're going through it that you will miss it when it's over. You really will miss it. And even if you don't miss the events, you will miss the people. There are people that you will remember for the rest of your life. I joined the service, I already graduated from high school. I graduated fairly young. I joined the service at 17. And I still remember the drill sergeant who greeted me off the bus, who called every female, of which there were 2, who went to the field artillery school. He called us split tails for the entire time that we were there. It's not a good term. I suggest you don't use it. All right, but the Army was different back then. The Army is different than when I joined 40 years ago. It's different when your grandfathers joined. It's different when your fathers joined. About 40 years ago, America went to an all-volunteer force. We are the largest country in the world to have an all-volunteer force. There are countries that require service. Israel, doesn't matter if you're male, female, pink, purple, green, you gotta do service in the military. In Russia, you hear on the news, they're calling in conscripts. We are an all-volunteer force. Our last war, over 20 years, was fought with an all-volunteer force. So you really are taking on a large piece of America when you go overseas. Only about 1% of America defends America. So you really are a very elite organization, all right? It's a very different America when your uncles, aunts, grandfathers, whoever went ashore in Normandy 78 years ago today. That's a long time. Just remember that. So, and we're not at war now, which is something that we could not say even last year. At this time last year, we were still at war. So just remember that there are great things expected of you, all right, and that you will do great things. Now, I have a different opinion of when you go to the Marine Corps. I would have a haircut before I go. You don't want to be the only one on that bus and attract attention, because once they catch you, you're in their eye forever. Try to blend into the background. Don't try to stand out. Now, there are some things where it's good to stand out, right? If you go to the rifle range and you shoot expert, that's a good thing to stand out for. But to need a haircut, don't die on that hill. Really, okay? Pick and choose. It's really important to remember that, okay? And as far as volunteering goes, right? You got a 50-50 shot of liking something, right? You won't know until you try it. So maybe you do want to think about volunteering. So, again, thank you, and I hope that you enjoy your time in the service.
I'd just like to thank everyone who spoke today and attended this morning's breakfast. I'd like to congratulate you three again. You know, obviously you can hear it in everyone's voices. You don't understand the commitment sacrifice you're making until you're there. It's kind of like a parent trying to explain to you what it's like to have a child. You just don't understand until you're there. But keep in mind that when you're there, you're going to love it. You're going to hate it. It's going to be great, and it's going to be terrible, all at the same time. But remember, you're doing something that 1% of Americans have the opportunity to do. And think of all the toys you guys get to play with. Things that no one else gets to play with. It's awesome. And that's one of the things that you will definitely miss when you're done. I wish all three of you the best of luck. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your decision. Thank you for your commitment. God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming this morning. Thank you.